this. Let's continue with the explanation. So we were doing the eardrum, okay? So the eardrum is like a stretched rubber sheet. Sound vibrations make the eardrum vibrate, okay? That is why the rubber balloon, it was moving, okay? Because when the rubber balloon is moving, then only the grains will move up and down. That means it was vibrating. So whenever the sound reaches the eardrum vibrates. The eardrum sends the vibrations to the inner ear. So from the eardrum, the vibrations will go to the inner ear, okay? From there, the signal goes to the brain. This is how we hear, okay? From the inner ear, the signal will go to the brain. So brain will receive the signal, and when the brain receives the signal, then only we can hear, okay? We must never put a sharp pointed or hard thing into our ear. It can damage the eardrum. Very, very important. Some people, they just try to clean your ears with the pin, okay, safety pin, or with any other such devices. Please don't do it. You have cotton buds, okay, so whenever you want to clean your ears, make sure you can clean it with the help of the cotton buds. Don't ever clean it with any sharp object, okay? So if you put any sharp object or hard thing into the ear, it can damage your eardrum and you cannot hear. Remember, it is only the eardrum that is helping you to hear. So if your eardrum gets damaged, you will have hearing impairment. That means you will not be able to hear properly, or some people may be completely deaf, okay, after that, right? Yes. So now this is the diagram of the human ear that you have in your textbooks. So now this is your ear, isn't it? This is your ear which you see from outside. Forget this part, just focus on this part. So this part is what you see from outside. Now the sound vibrations will travel. So this, from here your hole starts. So through the hole there is a narrow passage like this. Okay, there is a narrow passage like this. So at the end of the passage, this yellow part, can you see? This yellow part is your eardrum. Okay, this yellow part is your eardrum. So this is the hole. Suppose the sound is traveling through the hole, it will reach the eardrum will vibrate. So when the eardrum vibrates, you can hear. Okay, after the eardrum, can you see these white things? These are 3 bones. Okay, so after the eardrum, your inner ear starts. Okay, after the eardrum, you have your inner ear. So this part is your inner ear, as you can see. So this part is your inner ear. So this is your outer ear, which you can see from outside. After the outer ear, you have a narrow passage. You have the eardrum at the end of the passage. After the eardrum, these are the bones. These are 3 bones which are present in your inner ear. That means after the eardrum, this part is your inner ear. So from here, the inner ear starts. Okay, so this part is the inner ear. This is the eardrum. Same diagram. This is given in a magnified view, this part. Okay, this is the same thing. This part is shown in a magnified view. So this is the eardrum. These are the 3 bones which are present in your inner ear. That means after the eardrum, your inner ear starts. Is it clear? So this is your external ear or outer ear, and this is your inner ear. Okay, so eardrum is between your outer ear and inner ear. So after your eardrum, your inner ear will start. So this is the diagram of the human ear. Diagram is little complicated, so don't think that the diagram is going to come in your exam. Okay, so it will not come because it is a bit complicated. So it will not come for your exam, but you need to understand the diagram. Okay, so human ear, basically it has 2 parts. One is your external ear. You also have your middle ear and your internal ear. Middle ear, you can say this part, the part between your external ear and your internal ear. This is your middle ear. Okay, so external ear is this, then this passage together with your eardrum, this part is your middle ear and this is your internal ear. But broadly, if you classify, it is external ear and internal ear. In between the external and internal ear, there is the eardrum. Okay, yeah. So this part, actually it is not needed for your exam. It is not given in your textbook also. Just for your knowledge, I want to tell you ossicles. Now what are ossicles? Ossicles or ear ossicles, these are the 3 bones which are present in your inner ear. The white thing that you had seen in the previous diagram, this one, the white thing that you have seen, the white bones that you have seen in your previous diagram, this is the magnified view of those 3 bones. Okay, now you have 3 bones. Basically, one is your hammer, second bone is your anvil, and the third bone is your stirrup. hammer, anvil and stirrup. These are the three bones which are present in your internal ear. Sometimes question comes in your Olympiads also, right? Name the three bones present in your internal ear. You should know. So there are three bones basically. One is your hammer, this one. This is your anvil and this is your stirrup. So hammer, anvil and stirrup. This is the head of the hammer, head part, but this is one bone. Okay, hammer. This is the anvil and this is the head of the stirrup. This is the base of the stirrup. This is the stirrup. So this is the stirrup, the third bone. This is the anvil, the second bone, and this is the hammer, which is the first bone. So remember, ear ossicles are the three bones which are present in your inner ear. Okay, so what are the three bones? One is your hammer, then anvil and stirrup. Okay, yes. So now we come to the next topic, that is amplitude, time period and frequency of vibration. Now we have learnt that the to and fro motion of an object is known as vibration. This motion is also called oscillatory motion. So oscillatory motion, vibration, already I have explained. The to and fro motion of the simple pendulum. That means when the simple pendulum will move, okay, when it will move, it will, class 7 also you had studied, isn't it? How does the simple pendulum move? It moves about the mean position and that is called oscillatory motion. Okay, so the number of oscillations per second is called the frequency of oscillation. Frequency is expressed in hertz. Each symbol is Hz. Now, number of oscillations per second, that means in 1 second how many times the simple pendulum will move about its mean position. Okay, so in 1 second, basically in one time only it will move. Okay, so that is called frequency. Okay, frequency is the number of oscillations per second. That means in 1 second how many times the simple pendulum will move, that is called frequency. Okay, and what is the symbol? The symbol of frequency is hertz, or Hz is the symbol. Okay, Hz, and this is the way it is expressed, like, you know, time is expressed in seconds. Similarly, frequency is expressed in hertz. Okay, and in short you write Hz. A frequency of 1 hertz is 1 oscillation per second, isn't it? That only, that means in 1 second how many times the simple pendulum will move? Once. Okay, so that is called 1 oscillation per second. If an object oscillates 20 times in 1 second, what would be its frequency? 20 hertz. Okay, that means number of times an object oscillates in 1 second, that is called frequency. So if it is oscillating 20 times in 1 second, which is not possible, but suppose, imagine it is oscillating 20 times in 1 second. So what will be the frequency? 20 hertz. Okay. You can recognize many familiar sounds without seeing the objects producing them. How is it possible? Now suppose you know how a crow makes sound. All of us know how a crow makes sound. Now suppose you are not seeing the crow, you are hearing the sound. Can't you recognize that it is the sound of the crow? Yes, you can, isn't it? Now all of you know the voices of your parents. Suppose you are not seeing your father and mother and they are calling you. Can't you recognize that yes, my father is calling or my mother is calling, right? So the sounds must be different to enable you to recognize them, isn't it? The sounds have to be different. Now the sound of your father is different from the sound of your mother. The sound of the crow is different from the sound of the lion. So since they are different, that is why you are able to recognize it. Have you ever thought what factors make them different? So why are the sounds different? Okay, what are the factors that makes the sound different? Okay, amplitude and frequency, very, very important. These are the two important properties or two important factors that makes the sound different from one another. Okay, one is amplitude and one is frequency. So frequency, already I have taught you what is frequency. It is the number of oscillations in 1 second. Okay, produced by a vibrating body. It can be a simple pendulum, it can be the strings of a guitar, it can be anything. Okay, so if in 1 second the body is vibrating 40 times, what will be the frequency? 40 hertz. If in 1 second the body is vibrating 2 times, what is the frequency? 2 hertz. If in 1 second the body is vibrating 10 times, what will be the frequency? 10 hertz. Okay, so that is frequency. Now amplitude also, it is an important factor, but I will explain you amplitude in the next class. So this is for today. So I am winding up here. So thank you all of you and have